it's your girl Malika, and I'm back with another video. And as you can tell by the title, we're going to be talking about how I'm weird and that's okay. And this topic, the purpose of this video is to hopefully help somebody, you, be your authentic self and be okay with being who you are. Okay, I am going to put my glasses on because this sun is beaming down, as you see, but I always like to start the videos with you being able to see me because that's important to me. And let me try to, yeah. All right. Anyways, if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much. If you're new to the channel, I hope you will subscribe and all that good stuff. Let's get into this video because I just want to chat. That's the purpose of these videos, y'all, as I make my transition from just being about beauty and green lifestyle and all that good stuff. So, I'm weird, and that's okay. So, I've always been the black sheep of my family. I've always been the eccentric one. I've always been the odd girl at school, whatever. I've always been different. And I've known this since I was a child. And when I say a child, I mean a very young child. I am an introvert. So that's probably the first thing that I noticed about me. Like, I never really needed to be in the companies of others. I always had a vivid imagination, and as a young child I would play with myself, play with my dolls, I would just be up in my own world, and I always found solace in that, and I still do, obviously. That don't mean that a girl won't turn up, okay, and won't hang out and do all them things. It's just far and few and in between sometimes. So that's that. I've always been an observant child. My dad has told me stories about me being a baby, and whereas my sister was a very crying baby, I didn't cry like that. I was observant. I was quiet. I would just watch situations. Now, I would definitely cry because I am a sensitive person. That's also a part of my uniqueness. I'm very sensitive. A lot of people don't know this because I can have a hard exterior sometimes, and by hard I just mean like I ain't really one to be showcasing my emotions all the time, especially out into the open, okay? But when need be, I will. So that in itself makes me unique, okay? And I remember as a child getting picked on so much, especially when I moved to Georgia. I got picked on for being very sensitive. I used to get picked on because I had a very soft spoken voice, and they were like, you sound like a baby doll and blah blah blah. And they would just say the most, you know how children is. They would just say some wild stuff, and it would really hurt my feelings, and I grappled with that at a young age, is learning how to be comfortable in my sensitivity. And honestly, it took me until I was grown to do that. And then another aspect is the observant thing. Like I was just saying, how my family and people that I know would mistake that for being nosy. I literally remember being at my grandmother's house, and I don't know if this is just like a Black American thing, but if you're young, if you're a child, you're supposed to be with the children, especially when the adults are like talking about God knows what, whatever they're talking about. So I remember one time being at my grandma's house, and I was sitting in the living room with her, and the adults started to pile in, and she was watching Touched by an Angel, and I used to watch that, and I would bring my Barbies over and play with my Barbies and just be up in my own world, because I always was up in my own world. And they were like, she should go hang out with her cousins or whatever. And my grandma stopped them and she was like, no, she doesn't have to go anywhere. Now, my grandma was like in her 70s at that time, because I had to be about 8, maybe 9, 10 at the most. And I just remember her being like, no, she can stay. She's not bothering anybody. She always comes in here and she plays with herself, and she's so quiet, and she's not whatever. And they was like, well, she shouldn't be hearing this. And my grandma was like, she's staying. She's not bothering anyone, you know? And that's one of my fondest memories of my grandmother, because she accepted, you know, that quality within me without making it, she's nosy. Like my stepmom used to be like, you're nosy, your grandma's nosy, the same grandma that was like, no, she could stay. But no, we're just observant people, you know? And that gets misjudged a lot. So I'm always very observant, and I guess that makes people feel some type of way. I don't know, or care anymore. Another facet of me is like, I've always been very creative. I've always been into beauty. I've always been into like, creating new things, writing stories, whatever that is. I've always been super creative or whatever. And so growing up, I wanted to be so many things. First, I wanted to be a pastry chef. Then I wanted to be a journalist, a writer. I wanted to be an actress, all this stuff. And I would like tell my dad and stuff like that, tell my parents, and they would be like, no, you can't do that. You need to be something realistic. And I'm like, I don't want to be anything realistic. I want to do what I want to do. And I've always been this kind of free-spirited person where I'll just move from one thing to the next. I don't mean that in like a, she just gets up and goes, she don't got no responsibility. Not that. Meaning like, I like to flow with my creativity. I don't like to just be in one place or one area. So that was another thing that made me super unique. I was always switching the game up, and people would always say, I don't understand you, I don't get you. And it's just like, it's because you're not vibing on my same frequency. You're not, everybody is not for you. You may not know this, but I have a tarot channel, Intuitive Queen, and I have these cards called the Starseed Oracle. And today I pulled Embrace Your Weird. I think it said, embrace your weird, you're not for everyone. And that is so true for me. Like, I'm not for everybody, and not everybody's going to understand my uniqueness, and not everybody should be privy to my me, you know? And you got to know that about yourself, okay? Another part about me that a lot of people don't know is that I'm very heavily activist. I'm very heavily into activism and the political process for Black Americans specifically. ADOS, if you know what I'm talking about. I used to be kind of ashamed to like speak on that, because there have been a lot of smears against ADOS, and there have been a lot of tactics to try to make it seem like we don't care about other groups of people and all of that, but we do. We're just fighting politically, specifically for Black Americans who have been in this country since the inception of slavery, and whose lineage can be traced back to slavery. So a lot of people don't know that about me, and I've not really talked about it on this platform because I always wanted to separate it, but I don't want to keep separating facets of me. I do tarot. I'm an activist. I'm part of ADOS, you know. I'm creative as fuck. I like to switch the game up. I'm into astrology. I'm into tarot. I like to deep dive into the occult sometimes and all this and that. The purpose of this video is just to show you, like, you're unique. Own it. Because I'm owning my uniqueness now. I'm not hiding it. I'm not going to be pushing it away to suit the fancy of others, okay? I'm doing me. And that's what I want y'all to do. I want you to do you. And I want you to know, if Barbie, Susie, Jeff, Jason, none of them want to fuck with you, none of them want to vibe with your energy, none of them want to call you out for being who you are. They want to make you seem like you're weird because you don't fit into society's norms, because you don't fit into social media's norms. That does not make any difference. Be you. Stay true to who you are on the inside. Ask yourself. Get in a quiet space, okay? And just be like, am I living my authentic truth? Am I being authentically me every day? And at first it may seem foreign to you to do this, placing your hand over your heart and being like, God, source, spirit, whatever you call the divine being, am I being authentically myself each and every day? Am I really living in my truth? Am I embracing my uniqueness, my weirdness? Is that being portrayed? It doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be portrayed to others. I'm not telling you to go out into the world and just show everybody everything about you. I'm saying, are you living in that truth every day for yourself? Because the only person that's going to know is you and source. So it's very liberating when you start to function on that level. It's very liberating when you start to be like, you know what? I don't want to be, say you don't want to be monogamous. I want to be polyamorous. Go and be polyamorous then. I don't want to be cookie cutter. I'm not going to be cookie cutter. Like, for me, instance, people had it in their mind that I was just some cookie cutter person. I like it all. I like to switch it up. Sometimes I want to be sunflowers and rainbows. Sometimes I want to be grunge and dark. Okay? Sometimes I want to be hip hop. Sometimes I just want to be listening to some meditative music up in here. Sometimes I don't want to be who you think I'm supposed to be. I'm always switching the game up. I've been told many times, I just don't understand you. Like, every day there just seems to be something new about you. And I'm just like, I'm multifaceted. What can I say? I'm not for everybody, and everybody ain't for me, and that's okay. Like, embrace your weird. If you like to watch anime, if you like to frolic, I don't know, whatever makes you you, start doing it more. Start liberating yourself and just being in that truth. I like to have conversations like this. I like to talk. I like to get deep into things, and I used to be shying away from that, trying to fit in and all that. I ain't doing that. I ain't been doing that for a long time, you know. I just feel so compelled to just bring y'all more and more topics like this. And like, just let's be more true to ourselves. Like, that's one of the things that I hate about social media sometimes, is that people just always want to be like accepted. You're not always going to be accepted, boo. It's okay. Fuck it. You know? I've dealt with this my entire life, you know. Like I said, the introversion, the observing, the switching up the look, the being tall, the being a quiet person, the being sensitive, being bisexual, being tall, whatever, you know, like being into tarot, being into spirituality and different forms of spirituality, being all into all these different things, not subscribing to religion, and doing things that may be called so-called taboo, all that stuff that makes us unique. Stop hiding that aspect of yourself and be more authentic, because that's when you're going to start bringing authentic relationships into your life. And that's what we need, so that we can have good friendships and good relationships of the romantic spectrum and all that good stuff, and it's like, specifically, like, I know a lot of us in the Black community, specifically, and probably other ethnic communities, have had issues where you're being called out because you're not what they call the typical Black girl, or the typical Black guy, or the typical Asian man, or the whatever you are. Like, I'm not typical. I'm all this and then some. Okay, I was about to say I'm all that in the bag of chips, but I'm a 90s baby, so whatever. But I'm not typical, and that's okay. Like, I'm weird. I have a weird sense of humor. I'm sarcastic as fuck. I have a potty fucking mouth. Y'all don't know that, but I do. But I do. And I'm on this journey of spiritual growth, and I'm doing things that I never thought I would do, and I'm having all these ideas for my channel growth, and I'm just gonna do them, and I'm just gonna do me, and you should just be doing you, and we should all just be doing that without fearing what the consequence is going to be. Because I'm telling you right now, the only consequence of you not being authentically you is you not being able to see the beauty in that. There's beauty in that, okay? My circle real small. We're going to talk about that too. We're going to talk about friendship. We're going to talk about a whole bunch of topics coming up here soon. But I just wanted to talk to y'all about that. I hope that this made sense, and that y'all get where a sister is coming from, about embracing your weird and being authentic in your shoes. There's more to come with this. Comment down below. Follow me at Naturally Malika. Add my tarot page, Intuitive Queen. Follow me on all my social media, whatever, and let's get real. I just want to do more of this, y'all. So if you're vibing with this vibe, if you're on this vibe with me, then subscribe, like, comment, and share, and all that good stuff. And I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Peace and love. Bye.